Right guys, welcome back. Just a quick video, doing one based on this little camera I've got here. It's a Canon IXUS 85IS. Just wanted to do a video on, it's a pretty old, old school, which obviously is now quite cheap camera. As I went just on holiday recently to Marbella, and I wanted to take something. I don't want to take my A7C I'm filming on now. I wanted to take something I could just run around, go and have in my pocket, and I wasn't going to be too worried about breaking it or taking it really, lugging it around, whatever I was doing. So this video is just going to be a quick tutorial how to use it, show you some of the stuff that I filmed on it myself, and just what I'd recommend using it for. Because obviously there's quite a few things to kind of take into account when using a camera that's this old. Yeah, first of all, let's go through some things on functionality, how to use the camera first. I'll just go through a bit of tips on how to use it, how to edit in post, which I'll kind of take through a little edit in post afterwards, just so you can see how I edit the photos. And then, like I say, if you have any questions, anything you want to shoot out, we can go ahead on that. Sweet. Right guys, so here we are, got all the camera loaded up. I'm just going to go through a couple of the basic things to start with, and then we can have a look at what some of the most important features are about it. I'm only going to go through things that are actually really important, just for basic use, what I've been using it for. We're not going to go through any manual settings, just only thing that I've used across this just recent trip. So the first thing, I'm just going to go around this dial here. The first thing at the top here is the ISO there. So you can see it says ISO, has auto and ISO high. I've just left it always on auto. I've tried out a couple things with the high, but it doesn't seem to be really any point. So I just mainly leave that. Key thing next is the right side of the dial, this little icon here. That is the flash. So you can turn the flash off or put it on auto. It would be good to have a setting, which I haven't actually 100% sure about, where you could just have it on flash all the time. Just if you really want to use it for whatever reason. You could probably do it in manual, but like I say, I've not really seen the point just yet. So yeah, you can turn that off and on, but obviously on auto, if it gets dark, obviously it is just gonna automatically use the flash. But yeah, so that's the flash setting. As you'll see in the photos that I'm going to show you, I love the look that it gives flash shots. There's a lot of clarity in those shots as well. So I'm just going to go through. Next is the single shot, which is obviously a normal camera shot. And then you've got a timer. So this is if you want to do anything that's just a group photo, putting on a timer, anything like that. And then the other one on the left here is normal or macro. Macro if you want to get any kind of close-ups, and then normal, like I say, it's just for anything outside of that. But to be honest, I've never really used macro. Obviously, like I said, I've got an A7C, so not really seen any point for it. Okay, so that's kind of the main things. You have got a menu here. It is relatively basic, and obviously you can go into the settings and turn some of the sounds off that the camera makes. I've obviously turned most of them off. What I'll show you here now is at the top. You can see here you've got 3 different settings. You can slide this across here. It's currently in the photo setting. We put that across to video in the middle there. There we go, you got video, and you can simply just press the shutter to take a video. So really quite straightforward. And then at the end, you've got you're going through your photos that you've just taken there. Okay, so we've just taken those ones, you can see. Okay, so last thing, any other basics, at the top of the camera, we've got this, obviously the shutter button here. Like I mentioned about the on button, there's a shutter button. There's also a zoom button here. So what you do is you twist that around, and that's going to zoom in. So let's go back to, well, that's also going to zoom into your photos. I've already mentioned that as well. So that's going to zoom into your photos. You go to your actual normal camera setting, okay, and then we're just going to zoom in there. Really straightforward. Okay, you can see with the front lens. So It's obviously doing that for you there. Perfect. Okay, and for the most part, that is pretty much all you need to know. Now I'll just go on to what you can see here on the bottom right. You've got set 9,999. Now that's the amount of photos I've got left to take, which is obviously pretty impressive. The reason is, you'll see the SD card I've got in, it's only a relatively small SD card. It's a SanDisk 32GB. Now for these quality photos, they are very small, which is brilliant. I'm used to obviously having to use multiple different SD cards and high-speed SD cards, but obviously with this kind of quality, you don't necessarily need that at all. And the whole trip to Marbella, I didn't have to, well, that amount of photos didn't go down once, and I took about 200. So it is, you know, it's great because then you don't have to switch out or anything like that. Then that leaves us onto the battery here, just a tiny little battery here, and that just slips in there. I'll just show you the charger now as well, so really simple. Okay, so here is the charger, and basically just slot the battery in there. On the charging setting, it will just go from a solid orange, and then once it's full, it'll go to green. So really straightforward, you just slot it in here like this. Dead easy to use. Bang, perfect. Okay, so apart from that, that's really straightforward. One thing I will mention, which is obviously quite a big thing for me, is when I was on this trip to Marbella, you won't believe it, but this camera was pretty much all completely submerged in water. Basically what I did, just put it in rice for 24 hours and it came out working good as new, with no issues at all. Honestly, sometimes old tech like this just never fails with me. It just surprises me with how robust it is compared to cameras nowadays. But it's literally just as good as working before, no issues at all. So it's not necessarily waterproof, but obviously I wouldn't recommend doing that. But it really just has surprised me again and again, even though it's now, what, 16, 17 years old. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as everything goes. Okay guys, that's everything for this video. Like I said before, if there's anything else you want to know about this camera, or any kind of things that I cover in this video, feel free to just let me know in the comments, or anything else, just give me a shout. If there's any other content you want me to cover, whether it's different cameras or something about the A7C, I will be doing a video on the A7C soon, but like I said, I've not used it enough yet to really give an input on it. Like I said, I did have the A6300 before, which is an incredible camera. Like I said, this is full frame. But yeah, I'll probably do a video on that soon once I've had enough run time with it. But for now, thanks for watching.